Okay, I just recorded like a 18-minute long video that my phone just completely destroyed, and this is something you have to deal with, of course, in today's technological society. Is that you could say something very heartfelt and vulnerable and sincere, and the technology is just like, just doesn't care, of course. And you have to, in order to pursue your recovery and your healing, you have to weather that storm, right? You just not be distracted by it and just keep going. So what I was saying was that last night I was trying to encourage a friend. She is recovering from abuse herself. She's choosing to heal, and she's an extremely sensitive and profound person, so her healing process is complex and deep, and difficult. It's not an overnight transformation, right? But she is heroically, courageously choosing to follow that path anyway. And I'm trying, as her friend who cares about her and wants to see her succeed, and who knows she will succeed, I'm trying to offer all the encouragement I can. So one of the things I did is bring up the band Tool, which for me has been a tool in recovery, like for a lot of people, right? If you know, you know. It's one of those things. Most people, when I mention the band Tool, don't know, right? They think that Tool is just some 90s angry, dark sort of band, right? It's no different than like, insert some other stupid 90s band or whatever. They don't get it, in other words. And they are therefore like the butt of the joke. A lot of people think Tool is funny. Yes, James Maynard Keenan's lyrics are often brilliantly and satirically hilarious. But if you don't understand why, you are the butt of the joke. Anyway, I sent one song in particular. Well, I sent two songs off of my personal favorite album from Tool, which is Enema. Lateralus is fucking awesome. I'm not challenging anyone else's relationship to Tool. That's the whole point, is that how you choose to use the tool is how you choose to use the tool. And Tool, the band, is just referencing the ancient tool, which is the very choice to heal rather than allow yourself to be dragged down into deeper and deeper slavery in manifestation of cowardice, right? That's the tool that's being referred to by the band Tool. Anyway, so James Maynard Keenan. Well, let me back up. Ted Bundy. Before we get to Tool, let's bring up this other guy, Ted Bundy. The story of Ted Bundy begins with a little boy, Teddy. Teddy was mercilessly abused by somebody. I assume it's like his stepfather. I don't know the full story, but pretty sure he was molested and beaten as a little boy, as a vulnerable little boy, by some adult. I'm pretty sure it's his stepfather. He then tried to ignore the horror of what had happened. He became a young adult. Something happened, like he went on a date with a girl. And, like, near the end of the date, the girl said something like, "Hey, Teddy, this was great and everything. Thanks for dinner or whatever. I just don't think this is working out. I don't think we're hitting it off. And no offense, but I think we should part ways. And I wish you well. And, have a good rest of your evening, Teddy." And then she went about her life. And then at that moment, Teddy realized that the gates of fucking hell had been opened within his soul, right? And that he, from that moment on, was just an absolute monster. A predatory animal whose only true focus was victimizing innocent people. And then he did. He was very good at getting away with that. He even escaped prison a few times. And then finally, they executed him in prison. And then society gathered around the prison gates with barbecue and hot dogs, and signs that said, "Burn, baby, burn. Fuck you, Ted. we're patting ourselves on the back as society because we took care of the problem. Good job, society. Good job. That's the story of Ted Bundy. So now let's tell a different story. Story of Jimmy. Jimmy, like Ted Bundy, was a little boy who was mercilessly molested and abused by, I'm pretty sure, his stepfather, some adult. Different story though, right? Same premise, different outcome. Because in this story, Jimmy grew up and he said to the abuser within his mind, "Fuck you, buddy. Fuck you. I'm not like you. I'll never be you. And I'm choosing to heal and to claim my life as my own. And I will not descend into a lifetime of cyclical hatred of you in my head, with you as a central figure that I bow down to and worship like a fucking satanic idol. No. Starting now, no quarter, motherfucker. Zero tolerance. You are banished. Get the fuck out of my head," is what Jimmy said. So, on the album, Enema, the title of which refers to a conflation of concepts. Spiritual and physical freedom, basically, is the concept. So, like, enema is referring to animus, spirit, life force, something of that sort. And enema, which is clearing shit out of your physical body. It's about healing, in a nutshell. So, there's a song on there called Jimmy, where James Maynard Keenan, as an adult, expresses what it is as an adult to extend a healing hand, a helping hand to yourself within, to pull yourself up. And so I explained to my friend who is recovering from abuse in the present the famous analogy of the bucket crabs, right? The bucket represents slavery, victimization, abuse. But every now and then, one of these crabs stops identifying as a bucket crab. They realize, I'm an ocean crab, right? That doesn't just mean that I want out. It means that the ocean is my goddamn birthright, and you will not take it from me. And I'm leaving. And what happens is the other crabs try to pull that crab down, right? And if you are a true ocean crab, you have but one response to that, which is you're either coming with me or you're getting your fucking claw off me, but you are not pulling me back down into this goddamn fucking bucket. I'm an ocean crab. Bitch, get the fuck out of my way. Right? So Jimmy as the song, is about the decision to heal in the first place. And then there's this other song called Hooker with a Penis, which is about what? Hooker with a Penis is about what happens when you start to heal and what you can expect from other people around you, which is you can expect them to be bucket crabs who are going to try to claw you back down into the bucket, cut you down a peg, right? Tell you that you're being an uppity, arrogant, asshole for thinking that you even deserve to heal. What do you think, you're better than me, right? That's what's going to happen. That's what that song is about. So to me, Hooker with a Penis is actually more meaningful on a regular basis because it's told in the form of a sarcastic joke. But it's not a joke. It's a very profound statement as to what you can expect if you choose to heal, which is that some dude's going to come up to you after your show wearing the Van 501s, wearing the faded Beastie Tee, sipping Coke out of a McDonald's cup or whatever. And they're going to say things like, "Oh, hey, dude, I've been a Tool fan from day one, man. I saw you guys back in the day. And you know what? I think you all are selling out." Right? That's the bit. James Maynard Keenan knows all about stand-up, so he does bits effectively in his songs. And the bit is like, oh, so you think you know more than me about the project of Tool, I see. Well, here's the thing. Like, I don't need to spend 1 second, obviously, like, paying you any attention whatsoever. because I chose to heal a long time ago, motherfucker. And I am healing, which means I'm impervious to this shit at this point. However, I'm going to make a point of this in a song. I'm going to, like, immortalize this moment of your bucket crab idiocy. And the refrain of this song is this very simple refrain. It's fuck you, buddy. Fuck you, buddy. Notice that this is the point I made to my friend who's trying to recover, though. He did not say, I hate you, buddy. He did not say, I'm going to pound you into a bloody pulp, buddy. And so forth. Because that's not what you say when you are free from your abusers. Is it? Hatred. See, my friend who's trying to recover, she is at a process in her recovery where she's struggling to not hate her abuser, which is an entirely natural thing to go through. And it's my responsibility as someone trying to encourage her to point out that, firstly, it's an entirely natural thing that you're feeling. However, this is also the abuser still exercising control over you at some level, and your spiritual metabolism will eventually shit out this residual influence, and you will be free of this hatred. And for, further advice on that, consult the Dhammapada, chapter 1, right? Like, basically, those who choose to live in hatred of their abusers become their abusers. Teddy, right? That's Teddy, not Jimmy. So yeah, the real irony here, although it's not so ironic, is that with punk and metal music, historically they've attracted two groups of people in particular. The one group is people like myself who are trying to heal from abuse, and they're trying to take claim over their own lives, and they see that this music is all about that, and so they flock to see the show and to be inspired by it. However, there's another group of people that are attracted to this, which are the abusers, right? You got a whole room full of extremely vulnerable people who are trying to heal, doing their best to heal. Shit, if you're an abuser, this is like ducks in a barrel, right? So with punk music, historically, it was skinheads who would just show up. They don't give a fuck about music. They're just there to beat on innocent people and get away with it. The same is basically true for metal. You have bands like fucking Pantera. Fuck Pantera. Fuck the whole idea. Pantera is led by a fucking skinhead. Right? Fuck Pantera. They're the fucking enemy. Right? So there's this idea that people often have, a mistaken idea, that metalheads are are abusers. They're just people who celebrate violence and gore and ugliness and so forth, and they just want to beat on innocent people. Not true. Not really. Maybe if you're at a fucking Pantera show, but if you're at a Tool show, quite a different story. So, my friend, her abuser, knows the album Enema. They've listened to it, who knows how many times. They know all the lyrics. They think it's funny. Because they would, wouldn't they, right? It would go entirely over their goddamn fucking abusive head, wouldn't it? So I told my friend that, again, it is up to her to use this tool however she wants. But she should know that her abuser knows this album. And he knows all the lyrics. Which means all of these lyrics are literally tools for you to use should you ever be forced to encounter this motherfucker again. Right? I told her that you should not ever encounter this person again, right? Like you certainly shouldn't have to. But if you should, if you happen to run into them at the grocery store or whatever, and if she happens to choose for herself that, I want to say something to him, something other than I hate you, I'm gonna fucking kill you, right? Like that, something that is actually therapeutic and not him still having influence over her. I said, you get to choose whatever you want to say, of course, but I can just give you one example of what you might say, which is, hey, Lee, which is his name, by the way. Hey, Lee, you're a hooker with a penis. Fuck you, buddy.